Kip helped her to her feet and thanked her for relieving him. He dried them off, put a pad in some panties for her, and they got in bed and to sleep. It was Saturday morning when they awakened, and they just spent a lazy morning in bed with each other. They kissed and petted, but nothing heavy after last evening. Having to pee finally drove them out of bed to the bathroom. Kip changed Salina's tampon and pad and helped her get her left arm on. They went to the kitchen and had breakfast. While they were eating, the phone rang and it was Cricket. She was in town and wanted to stop by if it was all right. Kip said sure, come on over, we are anxious to see you. Cricket was the young lady they had met on vacation several weeks ago. She was a congenital right shoulder and right hemipluvectomy-like amputee and a left short upper arm amputee that she had requested because of a badly deformed lower arm and hand. She was working at the motel her parents owned, and the three of them had gotten to know each other and became lovers. Kip and Salina had invited her to come and live with them while she went to college in the town they lived in. Kip and Salina slipped on the bare minimum clothing and Cricket arrived about 30 minutes later. She had her prosthetic leg, with a bucket hip joint, and arm with 2 hooks for a hand on. She limped badly and walked slowly. However, both Kip and Salina thought she was very sexy, as crippled as she was with 3 missing limbs. Cricket also was very flat-chested, only her large nipples stuck out. They both hugged and kissed her, all of them saying how glad they were to see each other. Salina laughed and said, seems like when you and I are together I am having my period. Cricket said, good, I bet you are horny as hell, and Kip said she had that right. Jokingly he said she had worn him out last night, you can have her today. Both the girls said great. They all laughed and asked what brought her to town, and she told them getting ready for class to start. Her dad needed supplies for the motel and she rode along with him. She asked if she could see the room, and were they still sure they wanted her to live with them. They said yes to both, and Salina led the way to the guest room. She showed Cricket everything there and in the bathroom. She asked if Cricket used a wheelchair and she said yes, but it was just an old manual one that she propelled with her one foot and leg. Back in the bedroom, Salina asked if there was enough space for her computer and room for her books. Cricket said she just had a small laptop and there was plenty of room for her stuff. Cricket shyly asked if Salina was serious about wanting to have sex and she answered, you bet. Are you horny also? Cricket said yes, she had nothing since they left but her small dildo she held in the toes on her one foot. Salina said, let's go to my bedroom and shall we take our arms and your leg off, and Cricket said please. On the way, Salina asked Kip to come and take their arms, leg and clothing off, and he followed them to the bedroom. When he was done he asked if he could stay and watch, and the girls both said fine with me. Kip was already hard but got harder as he watched Cricket move herself around with only one good leg on the bed. The girls finally managed to get themselves into a position they could start kissing. With neither one having arms of any length, they used their mouths very effectively. Since Cricket had landed on her back, Salina was the first to move to her very small breasts and sucked on her large nipples. She moved down to her pussy and noticed her hair had started to grow back in. That did not stop her and she went after her clit, which was way out of its hood. This sent Cricket into a good orgasm, and when Salina kept it up, into a second one. Cricket finally said enough and asked Salina to come back up by her. They kissed and Cricket asked her to put her breasts into her face and Salina moved into position. Cricket worked on them for some time and finally asked Salina to sit on her face. Salina reminded her she was having her period and Cricket asked if her pad was clean when it came off a few minutes ago and she said yes. Cricket repeated her request, saying she wanted to eat her badly and did not care about her period. Salina moved up over her mouth and got into position so Cricket could eat her, and eat her she did. Her tongue was going everywhere and within a short period Salina came big time. She lifted herself off of Cricket and leaned over and kissed her some more. Kip could not believe what he had watched, 2 women with major amputations having sex with each other. Salina said she and Kip had been ready to get in the shower when she called, and did she want to join them and have Kip shave her pussy. Cricket said that would be great and Kip had her just move over to his lap for the ride into the shower. With about 30% of her body missing, she was not heavy for sure. Cricket moved to the bench and Salina and Kip got in on each side of her. Kip washed the girls and himself and then got down on the floor and up to Cricket's pussy. He shaved her good and her leg, then moved his face up to her slit. Salina was able to use her arm stump and play with Cricket's flat chest while she kissed her. The position Salina happened to be in gave Cricket a chance to use her arm stump to play with Salina's breast. Kip soon had Cricket coming hard again. He got back up on the bench with both girls watching his legs flop around and Cricket said, "Help me down, I want your big cock down my throat." Kip fastened his chest belt and helped her to the floor and guided his long hard-on into her mouth. She immediately took all of it down her throat and started working it in and out. After 5 minutes work, Kip exploded into her mouth and throat. She kept working him, getting all the cum out until he went soft. He got Cricket back up on the bench and she said, "Wow, I sure needed all of that. Thanks to both of you for having me." They all laughed and Kip dried everyone and put Cricket back on his lap. He asked if they were ready for lunch and the girls said yes, so he just wheeled Cricket into the kitchen like she was and fixed and fed them lunch. By the time he was done, he was hard as a rock again. The girls laughed and pointed their stumps at it, and Salina said to Cricket, "See what happens when he drinks water." Kip said, "Okay, I'll remember that the next time you all want something hard up your pussies." Cricket said she had better get going. She needed to make a couple of stops before they headed back home and called her dad to pick her up. Kip got her leg and arm on and then they all got dressed and had a good kiss, and she said she would see them next weekend to move in and start school. They went out to say hello to her dad and then they left. When they got back inside, Salina said, "Sit down, we need to talk." Kip looked at himself sitting in his wheelchair and she said, "Oh, you are sitting, I didn't notice." Rob just shook his head at her and she kept on going, telling him about the small laptop she used. She asked if his IT department at work could come up with a used, full-sized computer, printer and recommend a voice recognition program so she could speak the work she had to do, and then have it print out. He thought that was a fantastic idea and said he would take care of it. Next. She only has an old manual wheelchair which she uses her foot to push around. I bet she is on Medicaid, so let's see if they will get her an electric chair and she can use it at school to get around. If not, we get it for her. Then Salina said, "That makes another problem. How does she get it to school? Not in that small car, I believe." "So, you've been wanting a new van. Okay, I give you permission to get one, but you give the present one to her. So everything fixed." Kip was laughing hard by now, trying to keep up with her and saying, "I need your permission?" Salina said, "Yes, I'm the boss around here." She jumped up in time to miss his grab for her and ran out of his reach. They were laughing and she said she needed to go to the bathroom and pee. Kip followed her and helped her change her tampon. Her pad was still dry. They kissed hard while she was sitting on the john and he massaged her breast, making her nipple hard. They went back in the living room and Salina wanted to read and Kip transferred to the couch and stretched out. His mind slipped back to when they first met and he remembered asking her to move in with him. She said yes, and after she did, they talked about her being on the pill. Kip said he would have a vasectomy as it was a very minor procedure. They were able to find a doctor who was willing to do it at his young age. After meeting both of them, he understood why they did not want children with his severe disabilities. They were there after work, so he did it right then, as it was also Friday, so Kip could relax over the weekend. Salina was still on the pill and he reminded her to stay on it until he checked a semen sample in 1 week. Kip was slightly sore when they got home and after dinner he went to bed with a nice pack on his balls. By the next afternoon he felt good enough for them to start getting him off a lot to get the sperm out of his system. They kept it up 2 or 3 times a day all week, and on Friday he took a sample to the doctor and he told them he saw no sperm in the microscope, so she could stop taking the pill at the end of this month's supply. That was only 4 more pills, and they celebrated after that last one in the start of her period a couple of days later. Salina had been extra special to him during sex as a way of thanking him for doing it. She was not real regular after going off the pill, but they did not mind. Graduation time came and Kip had gotten a good job, but it meant they had to move. The company was paying for it, so they had the movers come and pack everything, which was not all that much. They got to the new city and Kip started in, sometimes with long hours. With the money Kip was now making, and Salina had found a good job also, they were able to find a great house that had been built as an accessible one. All of the rooms were a good size and both the main and guest bathroom were fully accessible. All of the doorways were extra wide for a wheelchair, 2-car garage, and great patio, everything they had thought about in a home. Kip had an inkling that the project they were working on was going to be big for all of them, so one evening he took Salina out to dinner.